Today is the big day when I'm actually going to be finishing up and mounting the diffuser. And I really have to watch what I do with my hands because I'm starting to look like Joe Namath on his Medicare commercial because it's great. At any rate, this is what the diffuser looks like right now. It is most of the way done. You can see I have strakes installed, and the more astute of you will notice that I have used screws to connect the strakes to the diffuser body itself. There's a reason why I'm doing that. Because, now a lot of people will tell you, well, you have to epoxy your strakes to the diffuser. And that'll make a nice smooth surface. You'll get better vortexes and a better Venturi effect and everything else. I'm not doing that for the simple reason that I have planned to make the diffuser, number one, very easy to put on and take off the car. And number two, very easy to replace parts. If I had epoxied these strakes, like this one, onto the diffuser body itself, and one of these strakes broke, I'm out of luck. I might as well just go ahead and redo the entire thing, because there's no way you're going to get a good epoxy off of a plastic surface once there is a molecular bond. So I'm using screws. That way, if I go over a speed bump or there's debris on the road and I happen to bust a few of these strakes, I can just unbolt the old one, bolt on the new one. So what I'm going to do right now is I need to make a few more strakes for the diffuser. Now this right here is a package that I got from Amazon. This is a 5-pack, not very much money. This is 1/8 inch thick ABS plastic. This is what I make the diffuser and the strakes and everything else out of. Let me show you how I built the diffuser itself. So here's the diffuser, what I've gotten done so far. You can see, now you might not be able to see it, right here where my fingers are going down. This is the main frame of the diffuser. It goes across here. This is a 17 inch by 21 inch piece of ABS. And you can see right here that it extends past the rest of the frame. This is where it attaches to the vehicle right here. It fits in the slot that's underneath the vehicle. This is the end that fits underneath the bumper cover in the back. This is the end that's going to be mounted on the back of the car. This is on the front of the car. On this frame, I have epoxied. Yes, I actually do use epoxy on some of these projects. I have epoxied a piece of the ABS plastic that is 48 inches by 24 inches, a 4x2 sheet. So what I've done is I've created a couple of angles here, right here and right here. This is the end strakes to help with the tire squirt that comes from under the car that the barge boards don't take care of. And on top of that, over here on the back of this, I have got another 1/8 inch thick piece of ABS plastic. Okay, this is a little bit softer. It's a little bit more brittle and cold, but it's a little bit softer. And I've made that on the outside. So the 1/16 is sandwiched underneath here, and then the main frame is on the other end. This right here, believe it or not, this started out as one of these. This, my friends, is one of the bows or pieces of framework that you will find on a vinyl bed cover for a truck. There's some leftover pieces that I had when I used to have a pickup truck. This is the main frame, the stabilizing portion of the diffuser. And you can see I've got all my screws and whatnot here. On this side, to connect this aluminum frame to the diffuser, I'm using hex head machine screws right here. And as I said before, the screws that I'm using, Most of them are flat-headed screws that are countersunk into the surface of the diffuser, so they won't cause any problems with the airstream coming off of there. And the way my consultant, Kyle Forster, look up Kyle Engineers on YouTube. He's got a lot of great videos, and he's got a great website. He's a great consultant. If you're going to be doing any serious aero work, I highly recommend hiring this guy, because he has taught me more in just a few weeks than I've learned in 20 years. The way your strakes work is this edge here, and here, and here, and here, and on the other ones when I get them on the other side. These are where your vortices form. Now, on this one, I am actually changing this up. I am creating a new style, I think, of diffuser. Because what I've done, and I know these aren't gonna be perfect. They're made from ABS plastic, and you can see there's a little bit of warpage on there. I'll probably straighten them out at some point, but I'm not really too worried about it, because what I'm doing is right here. See this right here, and see this right here? What there is going to be when I get done. I buy these by the 100. These are what are called air tabs. These are, here, there you go. You can probably see the lettering on it now. These air tabs, very strong adhesive here. Once you got these attached to a vehicle, they ain't coming off. Trust me. The paint will come off along with them. These are vortex generators. I've got them on the back of the Stealth. Here, let me move this up and over here so that you can see the vortex generators on the back of the car right here. The series of vortex generators that goes across here. They work along with the C-pillar vent. At any rate, these vortex generators, I talked to Kyle about this, and he did not really object to placing these vortex generators along the leading edge of the diffuser. And I've actually got enough of these things laying around here that I can actually put them at both ends if I wanted to. So you're going to have vortex generators all along here. You're going to have the strakes that are supposed to generate vortexes, and the low pressure generated by that creates downforce in the vehicle. So what I have to do now at this point is I have to make a few more strakes for down at this end of the diffuser. Each one of the strakes that I'm making today is 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, a 2-inch lip here, extending down 4 inches. The rate of incline on the diffuser, because remember, let me see how I can do this. There we go. If this is towards the front of the car and this is towards the back of the car, you want your diffuser to be at an angle like that. On this car, on the Dodge Stealth, the way it is set up, it's exactly 8 degrees. Very nearly perfect for a diffuser. It's unbelievable. At any rate, the rate of angle on this means that if I have 4 inches here, I have to subtract 1.5 inches down here. So it's a 1.5 inch drop. Here, you have to cut that in half, so it's a 3/4 inch drop. This is a 1.5 inch drop. You'll see and note that on this end, I have 2 12-inch strakes connected together. And yes, you see a bolt in and out here. These two will be epoxied together in a very short time. I just have this here so that I can make sure that this is angled right. And what Kyle told me is the ones on the end, if I read his instructions and advice correctly, the one here on the end should be tilted in or angled in like this at 5 degrees. This creates another vortex down in here. It's called the Venturi effect. Not a vortex, the Venturi effect. So, That's about it so far. Now I'm going to make another couple of strakes, and I'm going to show you how to do that, because what I'm trying to do is tighten up this video a little bit, because I've been recording this thing for the past 3 weeks and I can't make any continuity out of it that's appropriate, so I'm going to do the entire thing right now. Anyway, there you go. This is the diffuser so far. So I'm going to make another couple of strakes and show you exactly how to do that using the 1/8 inch ABS plastic. So here is one of the pieces of ABS plastic that I use to make the strakes. You can see it's 1/8 of an inch thick. It's textured on one side and smooth on the other and filled with static. What I do is, first thing you do is you figure out where you put your marker. There we go. First thing you're going to do is cut it in half. And the nice part about this, unless you're a type A personality, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, depends on the mood that I'm in and how I feel that particular day. Draw a line in the center. The first part of the strake making, part of the festivities, is to cut this in half at 6 inches. So, you need yourself a couple of clamps. Clamp this to the table. Put the line just over the edge of the table so that the piece doesn't vibrate like crazy. And then you realize that you did it wrong, and you have to bring it down here further, and then you have to fight with this and embarrass yourself on the camera because you're an idiot to start with. There we go. Okay. Now we can tighten this up. There we go. Move that out just a tiny little bit. And over here, we're going to move this part out a tiny little bit. There we go. Now, we're ready to cut this. To cut these things, you can use a saber saw, you can use a hacksaw, you can use your fingernails, you can use your cat's teeth, but I prefer a multi-tool, which is very handy. There we go. Now we have two 6-inch strips of plastic that we can use for our strakes. And as I said before, and I wanted to demonstrate this on purpose, is that these cut edges, when you cut them in half, they don't have to be perfect. They can be rather ragged, if you don't mind, because this edge here is going to be this edge here that mounts to the diffuser. So structurally, there's no reason to absolutely have to do that. So here we go. We've got our 6-inch by 12-inch piece of plastic, or 12-inch by 6-inch, if you prefer, right here, just like this. And what we're going to do, I'm going to use this one since I already cleaned up the edge somewhat on this one. So working from the textured side again, we are going to mark this one at 4 inches. Four inches there. 4 inches there. Always remember, measure once, cut 4 times. Mark yourself your line here. Bleep, just like that. You're going to take this bad boy. Now, you're going to take this and align this a lot more perfectly with the edge of the table than you did the last one. when you cut it, because this bend in the plastic has to be a lot closer to perfect than when you did your 6-inch cut. Because you want this to be fairly straight, and you want it to be square as well. Take as much time as you need to make this alignment as close to perfect as you can. One other thing that you're going to notice is that as this gets heated up and becomes pliable, this center part right here will have a tendency to bow up and distort your fold. So put your fingers on here like that. The next device that you're going to need, let me reposition this down just a little bit so you can see better. There we go. Next device you're going to need is your handy dandy propane torch, or a heat gun if you prefer. It's up to you. You are also going to need, and this is very important, a sprayer. I use a garden variety 2-gallon pump up sprayer around the house for just about everything. Hell, and in the wintertime when it's super cold, I use this thing to wash the car, believe it or not. So, what we're going to do is I'm hopefully not going to set my jacket on fire. You come down here, start running your torch back and forth across the plastic. Now you will see rather quickly that the line is basically going to disappear, because as the plastic gets heated up, it becomes shiny. I usually go back and forth like this a few times to make the heating even. Also, when you bend this, see, you can see that this is starting to bow up there. Also, when you bend this, you want to bend it past 90 degrees. Now bend it straight down and spray the cold water to solidify the plastic again. It will have a tendency to lose its 90-degree angle. So let's see how close we are. We're getting closer. You don't want it to melt, but you do want it very pliable in order to put a good 90-degree bend in it. See, now it's starting to want to bend. See how nice and shiny that area is getting now? Oh, that's just about perfect. There we go. Alright, take this, put your hand right there. You can see how that pops down. Take this and bend it. Bend it past 90 degrees, like that. Then you take your sprayer, spray the angle. That solidifies the plastic back up. And I'm not quite happy with this angle here. It bowed out a little bit when I let go of it. So we're going to heat this up some more. Doing this type of thing isn't that hard. It takes practice. Expect to wreck a few pieces of plastic before you get your technique down. Not that I ever did that. My first one, of course, is perfect. There we go. Put a little bit more of a bend on it. So I'm going to hold on to it longer. And since it's wintertime, I now have ice cold water pouring down my hand. I've lost all feeling to my fingers now. They may have to be amputated when I go inside. There we go. That's better. And as this all cools down, it'll rotate it right on down to a perfect 90 degrees. And of course you can reheat this and rebend it as you please. There you go. One Strake made just like that. That's what they look like. Very easy to do. So simple. Even somebody from Ohio could do it.